Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another session on Counselor University. My name still remains Emenna Ifeanyi, and I'm the Vice Chancellor of Counselor University. Today, I want to be sharing with us on a topic that a lot of people have been saying that I've been hearing from them and they really want to understand. And the topic is basically money creation. A lot of people want to understand, how do we create money? Because they listen to some of my messages, some of our teachings, and they hear us talk about millions and billions. And they are wondering, is it possible for somebody to create billion out of nowhere? Well, basically, what I want to share with you is a topic I've titled, What No One Told You About Money. If you can grasp the points I'll be sharing with you today, I promise you that you will discover the secrets to money creation and understand that a lot of things you think were difficult to create are actually not as difficult as they seem. Once again, I also want to introduce our book to you, Executive Confidence, which is part of the things that we shared on some of the topics we shared out inside it are about how you can actually create money. Now I'm talking about money creation, not actually wealth creation, because a lot of people need to understand how to differentiate between money creation and wealth creation. So let's go into the topic. A few months back, one of our clients called me and said, Ifeanyi, there's a business transaction that I want you to handle for us. Now, this business transaction was to the tune of about 1 billion naira. Sorry about the matter. It was to tune about 1 billion naira. Now, he wanted to buy a property. The property was pegged at 1.5 billion. And he told me, Ifeanyi, go and negotiate for us to buy this property. At that particular point, I've never done any negotiation that exceeded about 10 million naira. Now, I knew that there has to be something about money that somebody could ask me to go and negotiate a deal that would make him spend. At the end of the day, we ended up getting the property for about 1 billion naira. And that taught me something about money creation. And I need to, I told myself, what are the principles behind this that enable this man to trust me to run a negotiation of about 1 billion naira for him? Now, the things I've learned are the things I want to share with you today. The first point is, money creation is directly related to your confidence. A lot of people don't understand that your confidence attracts money to you. A lot of people don't understand that if you are confident in what you do, if you are confident in the way you carry yourself, that other people will readily give you money. But if you have all the skills, all the talent, but you are not as confident as you should be, even those who are supposed to give you money will not give you anything. The first thing you need to understand about money is that money is attracted to confidence of an individual. The more confident you are in yourself and your ability, the more money you find coming your way. A few years back, the most we could make from any transaction was about 20,000 or 100,000 naira. And one of the things we started to work on ourselves was on the confidence of each of our staff on our team. And one of the things I noticed was, the more confident we were in discussing and negotiating with our clients, the more they were willing to pay us, such that now they are paying us multiples of hundreds and millions for us to do the same deals for them. If you work on your self-confidence, you'll be amazed at how much you'll be generating at the end of each day, each month, and each year. One of the things, the principles you need to get are some of the principles that we mentioned in our book. So I won't dwell so much on confidence, because you can find most of the principles on how to build your confidence on our book, Executive Confidence. Now you can, at the end of this talk, I'll give you the number of our number you can use to place your order for the book on WhatsApp, because if you finish reading this book, you are guaranteed that your self-confidence will grow by at least 300%. Now, the next point I want to talk about is that the rich and the poor see money differently. A rich man once told me that if I take all the money I have in the night and I throw it out of the window, that first thing in the morning, all the money that I have with all their neighbors and friends will rush back into my house in the morning. I also realized that the reverse is the case for the poor man. When the poor man packs all the money he has into his house in the night, before morning, most of this money will seep out of his window and out of his walls. And when he wakes up, you find out that he has 0 naira left in his house. It's important for you to understand that money is attracted by the personality of the person that keeps it. For instance, if a rich man takes all his money in the night and pours out of the window, in the morning when his friends calls him to run a deal, he doesn't need to have any amount of money in his bank account for him to do a deal of 1 billion, 100 million or 500 million. But if a poor man has about 100 million stored up in his house in the night, by the morning he would have used his credit card to place order of different kinds of goods throughout the night. He would have used his credit card and his his phone to transfer most of this money to his families and friends. And when he wakes up in the morning, you find out that out of that 100 million, he has nothing left. The mentality of money is critical in your retention of the money. The next point I want to also share about are people and relationship create money for you and not the goods or services that you are selling. A lot of time we make the mistake of assuming that is when we have good quality goods, when we have good quality services, that is when we make more money. That is pure bullshit. It's the people that you know, it's the relationship that you have that will determine the amount of money that comes your way. If the people who are around you that you interact with regularly, all they are capable of doing a transaction of between 100 to 500,000 to 1 million, that is the maximum amount of money that can ever come your way. But when you move your relationship and start to relate with people who find it as a normal thing to do transaction of between 500 million to 1 billion, you suddenly find out that you start to think in terms of hundreds of millions and in terms of billions. And as a man thinketh, so his life will become. And the more you think in that direction, the more you suddenly find out that your thought patterns are attracting to you the amount of money that you desire, and not longer based on the quality of goods or service that you offer. I always share this example. You need to realize that the rice that is sold by the woman by the streets is the same rice that the people at Eco Hotel, for instance, are selling. Now, how come this woman by the street is selling her own very delicious, tastily prepared? In fact, most time might be more tastily prepared than the ones at Eco Hotel. It's because of the kind of people that come to where she is and the kind of people that go to Eco Hotel. A man and his friend that go to Eco Hotel will be willing to pay between 20 to 30,000 for a plate of rice. And for them, paying that amount is a normal thing, such that the people at Eco Hotel will find it normal to sell a plate of rice for about 30,000. But for the woman who's by street corner, who is used to seeing people not pay more than 500 naira for her plate of rice, she will find it extremely difficult to build the mindset to be able to sell her plate of rice for about 5,000 per plate. It's about the people you know. One of the biggest jump that we had in our revenue was when a certain category of people started to interact with us as counselor. And when they came, we suddenly realized that we could give them a fee. And at that fee, they didn't find it too outrageous. But these are fees that other people that were interacting with used to find extremely outrageous. The same thing applies to you. If you don't get the right kind of people around you, if you don't get the right kind of people that you start to interact with, getting the right kind of relationship, it means that the kind of money that you desire to create, you cannot create it. You must understand that to create money is the people who can afford to give you that amount of money that you desire that will actually create those money for you. It means that if you don't attract the kind of people to whom, let's say you want to create about 100 million, for instance, and you don't know at least 10 people who can conveniently give out 10 million in a transaction with you, it will mean for you to raise that 100 million will almost be impossible. The amount of money that you are generating currently is based on the kind of people that you are interacting with, not based on the quality of your goods or your services. I found this with actually what we were doing. The same kind of presentation, the same kind of training we were given when people were paying us about 50 to 30, 100,000 per session, was the same kind of training that we gave to another kind of group of people. Exactly the same kind of training, and this group of people were paying us 1 million for the same thing. What changed? The kind of people we had around us and the kind of people we interacted with. So yes, it's good for you to have quality goods, quality services, but most importantly are the kinds of people that you deliberately build around you. If you get this right group of people around you, you'll be amazed at how your income will jump. So stop working so hard on building your product, improving your product quality or your service quality. Work extra hard on getting people who can afford to pay you so much more for your goods and services to come and deal with you. The next point about money creation is about money is a mindset thing, and that mindset is transferred, not worked for or acquired. Money is a mindset thing, and that mindset is transferred, not worked for or acquired. When we started Counselor, we found out that the amount we could charge per client at most was about 100 to 200,000. But one day we got a group of clients and we started to get close to them. When we were around them, when we were discussing with them, we found out that they were always discussing in tens of millions and hundreds of millions. And because we stayed around them for a long time, suddenly we found out that these millions were not things that were so difficult to acquire. These millions that were things that anybody could actually acquire. And what we discovered was our mindset about money started to change. And before long, we started to change the amount we were charging from about 20, 50 to 100,000. We moved it to about 500,000. And the amazing thing was that because the people we were relating to had actually changed, suddenly the amount they were willing to pay us were actually also changing. It means that you need to most importantly work on your mindset. If your mindset says that the amount that you can actually handle is about 50,000, I can guarantee you that if somebody gives you 1 million, you start to waste it on it gets to about 100 to 50,000 that you can handle. Mindset is the most important factor you need to understand about money creation. Now, these are things that most people will not tell you about, but these are the realities and facts that I've discovered from interacting with some billionaires and multimillionaires in Nigeria, who have shown me some of the secrets to money creation that if you can grasp, can turn your business, turn your life around. The next point is money has basic fundamentals without which acquiring money will be impossible for you. You need to understand that there are basic principles that guide money creation. What do I mean? If you don't understand that it's what you sow that you reap, that is a basic principle of money, that you must sow money for it to multiply, then creating money will be impossible for you. What do I mean? You might say, okay, I earn a salary of about 20,000. Now, out of that 20,000, is there any percentage of that money you are taking to invest in another vehicle that can actually multiply part of that 20,000 for you? Because if you know a law, there's a law called Pascal's law, which says that as your income increases, your expense will also increase to match that income. And what it does is that the excess income that comes will be wiped off. Now, if you don't understand this basic principle about money creation, you find that as your money is, your revenue is increasing, the money you're making is increasing, something's on expenses usually jump out of nowhere to consume that increase. But when you understand this law, basic principle about money creation, you understand that for you to be able to multiply the money you have, you need to have a system that takes out a chunk of any revenue you make, that invests in a system whereby you can't really assess it, but on its own is multiplying for you. It doesn't matter the amount of salary you are earning per month. If you take at least 30% of that money and you're investing in another vehicle, What kind of advice can you give? You can look at maybe you have a neighbor who has a supermarket, for instance. You can tell him that every month I will loan you 20,000, but I want after 30 days you pay me 25,000. It means that you are giving him a loan of 20,000 and he's paying you an interest of 5,000 per month. Let's even say he pays an interest of about 2,000 per month. Now it means that the 20,000 that you would have left idle in the bank can actually start to multiply and yield 2,000 for you. Which means if you have about 200,000, you can actually reach out to another business owner around you. I say I have 200,000 to loan out to you. How much can you pay me every month? Now, because these people cannot readily access this money from the bank, you find out that they will be willing to readily take this thing from you and pay you based on that interest. That is the basic principle of money, and your money is actually multiplying for you and giving you more income. That is how money is created. We'll now look at the next point, which is you can't attract money if you cannot cannot be unemotional about money. You can't attract money if you cannot be unemotional about money. I recently met a young man, and somebody just came to him, and the person said, after discussion, okay, let me give you something for transport. He gave this guy 100,000 for transport from Apapa to Ikeja. Now, this was something that most people cannot fathom. And when I studied his life, I noticed that he had no emotional attachment to money. To him, money was more like a book. And giving out somebody a bundle of 100,000 was more like taking a book and giving to another person. And what I came to discover was that once you learn to detach yourself emotionally from money and see it simply as a tool, then money will run away from you anytime you get so more emotional about it. What does it mean? In the morning as you're going to work, you wear your shoe. Are you emotional about your shoe? No. You wear your clothes. Are you emotional about your clothes? No. It means that even if you are going on the road, for instance, and something happens and you lose your shoe, will you get so emotional about it? No. What will you do? You go and get another shoe. The same thing, the way you handle your clothes, the way you handle your shoe should be the way you handle your money. Which means don't get too emotionally attached to money. It means, for instance, if something happens and you do a transaction and 100,000 goes out and doesn't come back, you don't see it as something, oh, I've lost so much. No. I never knew I could get such a mindset. But recently I found out that I could easily, yes, I've not gotten to the stage of my friend who gives about 100,000, but I found out that I can readily give out 10, 20,000 to people without even thinking about it. And what I came to realize was that I didn't see that I was giving them 20,000 or 50,000. What I just saw was that I was giving them 20 pieces of paper, 50 pieces of paper. To me, money is just paper. The same thing has to apply to you. If you've not gotten to a stage where you become less emotional about money, creating money will be very difficult for you. Because the human mind has a way it works. When your emotion is connected to your money, the moment you start to see that you're about to lose the money, what happens to you? Fear creeps in and makes you to start to take measures to prevent the money that you have from going away. And when you start to do that, the investment and opportunities that would have come your way, suddenly you will lose them. Which is why people get business deals, and the first thing they consider, will I lose the money that I have? Yes, it's important for you to look at the risk, but most importantly, see it as just a series of zeros that will move from your account to another place, and that with it, that you can actually get more zeros into your account. The less emotional you are, this is one of the most important factors about money creation. I found where people a customer comes, for instance, and tells you that he wants to buy goods worth about, let's say the most you've been selling was about 50,000. Somebody comes to your place and says, I want to order goods worth 1 million. What happened? immediately your emotion kicks in. At that point, you find out that you start to make concessions that you would not have really have made before. And without, you might even sell that 1 million naira worth of goods. But what do you realize? Because you are so emotionally involved in it, you are no longer calculating, am I making profit out of this transaction? But when you are not so emotionally involved in that transaction, you can make your calculation and say, see, no, I can't sell this thing for less than 1.5 million. Even the person wants to walk away, say, yes, let him walk away because I know another person will come in. It's when you have that mindset, you understand that I can take certain decision irrespective of what is happening. And if the person buys, good. If the person doesn't buy, I go ahead. You don't get so emotionally involved. Even if somebody comes and a deal falls through at the last moment, you don't feel as if your world has collapsed. Because you just know that it's just a transaction that collapsed and not part of your life. But when you don't learn to treat money that way, you find out that decisions that you would have made rationally, your emotion kicks in and you start to make emotional decisions rather than rational decisions. And at that way, I guarantee you that money will run away from you. Now, so the next point is money creation is directly tied to strategic generosity. What do I mean by this? People who are not strategically generous cannot create money. You need to understand that what does strategic generosity mean? Well, let me explain to you. Strategic generosity is whereby you deliberately look for a certain kind of people that you want to help. You deliberately look like for a kind of people that you want to be generous to. Let me give you an instance. A man came to fix my generator. After fixing, I asked him what's the bill. He told me 5,000. And when it was through, I gave him 7,000. Another man came to fix my system. Asked me how much. I told him 7. He told me 7,000. When he was going, I gave him 10,000. Now, what is the implication of this strategic generosity? Assuming I have an urgent need to fix my generator, for instance, and I call this guy, do you think he will rush over immediately? Assuming I have an urgent need to get a computer accessory, and I call this person, do you think he will immediately do that? That is the power of strategic generosity. Let me give an instance to a very powerful example. One of my clients was going to visit a government official that he does transactions with all the time. When he got there, he saw one of the directors about to board a public transport. He called me, sir, what are you doing? He said, I'm going home. What of your car? He said, I don't have a car. He said, how come? He said, well, I don't have a car. He said, sir, that is not possible. Please, just give me like 1 hour. Immediately, he called his driver. Go back home, get the document of this car and get the car and bring it to me. I'm waiting for you here. In about an hour's time, the driver brought the car. He went to the man with the document of the car and the papers of the car. See, sir, this is your car. From now on, go and do the change of ownership and it belongs to you. The director was so overwhelmed by this generosity. And you know what? Since that day, any document that has to do with that man's company gets accelerated attention whenever they pass through the director's table. But before then, did he know the director? No. But he just knew that this man was a director, and when he saw him about to take a public transport, he said, no, this cannot happen. That is how powerful strategic generosity is. Strategic generosity means when you are negotiating with people over certain transactions, you don't try to milk them. Strategic generosity means about when you see certain people that you know you have business relationship with, go out of your way to make some financial concession to them. Don't try to get the best out of every negotiation. Because when you are fair and good to people in certain transactions and negotiation, they will go out of their way to actually help you. If I know one of my clients who, in his own form of strategy, any of his staff that gets married is sure of a car. Now, if you are working for somebody and you are guaranteed that as long as once you are getting married, that you certainly get a car, how long do you think you will stay in such a company? That is how powerful strategic generosity is. And when you do that, you retain the best people around you, retain the best kind of friends around you, And when you do that, the right people are around you, and because it's people that help you create money, you find out that wealth creation comes in multiples to you. The next point is those that study money and how it's create more of it. If you want to become a lawyer, for instance, what do? You go to a law school and you study law, and when you come out, you become a lawyer. If you want to become a doctor, what do? You go to medical school, you study medicine, and when you come out, you become a master of medicine and you become a doctor. What people fail to realize is that money creation is like any other course. That if you want to create massive amount of money, that you must study money. You must study finance. You must study business. It's when you study all these aspects of money that you know where are the points that I need to give more efforts to, where are the areas I need to give more energy to, so that money can actually be created and increase in my area. So if you have not learned, taking out time to study money and study how it's created, if you don't understand, for instance, how interest rate works in bank, if you don't understand the minimum of the monetary policy rate, for instance, if you don't understand how exchange rates are set, it will be very difficult for you to create money. Because money is more like it's called currency, and current flows from one area of high concentration to area of low concentration. If you don't understand how money flows from one point to the other by studying money, then you think that you are working hard to create money without realizing that you are an area of high concentration and money is actually flowing away from you to other people. But when you understand all these principles of money creation, for instance, let's say, for instance, let me give a practical example. A few days ago, I was in the bank and an elderly woman came to the bank manager as I was discussing with the bank manager. And I said, sir, I have some money that just came into my account and I want to fix them in your current fixed deposit. Now, an average person will have that money flow into their account and they just leave it there. But this woman understands that for every day that this money is lying in my account, that I'm actually losing money, that I can get this money to work for me by actually fixing it. If you have not taken out time to study money and the principle guiding money creation, then when money comes to you, you don't understand how this money should be multiplied. The area, like for instance, the area I find baffling that people rarely use is, a lot of you have friends who are in business and a lot of you earn salary. Don't you know that if you can take part of your salary and tell your friend that has business, I have this amount of money but I'm not using it, so I want to be investing in your business. How much will you pay me every month? You'll be amazed at how much you can generate by taking a part of your salary and giving it to a friend for him to be investing for you in their business. That way, your money on its own is working for you. But you can only do that when you have studied money creation and how money is multiplied. The next point also I want to talk about is that paper notes and zeros in your bank account are not money. A lot of time we assume that when you receive a alert and you look at it and all you see about 6 zeros behind it. Oh, I have 1 million naira. No, you don't. All you have is a series of zeros. Because if you don't understand that that zero can actually be wiped off by a computer glitch, then you don't understand how money is created. If you don't understand that wad of paper that you have, maybe you have a bundle of notes, and you feel that, oh, if you count it and everything comes to 1 million, and you don't understand that when inflation comes, that 1 million cannot actually buy you what 100,000 could have bought for you before. A lot of people are focusing on the zeros that they see in their bank accounts. A lot of people are focusing on the paper notes that they have without realizing that all those things are just tools that enable you to create money. So what is money? Money is your ability to get what you want, when you want it, and how you want it. Money is your ability to get what you want, when you want it, and how you want it. It means that if you don't understand that, if I want, for instance, I want this book, do I have the ability to get this book now and where I want it? You might have a series of zeros in your account, and maybe you are in the forest and you need to eat. Do you have the ability to get the woman sitting beside you to give you the food that she's selling? If you don't have what it takes to convert that zeros in your account into notes for her. A lot of people are so attached to the notes and the zeros without realizing that they are missing the critical thing about money. That is your ability to get what you want, that is money. Which is why most of the rich people rarely carry about all the paper the notes or the zeros, because they come to realize is that the wealth they have is the ability to get whatever they want when they want it and how they want it. If you want something now, can you get it? It doesn't matter the zeros in your account. It doesn't matter the number of notes that you have. If you lack the ability to be able to get what you want when you want it and how you want it, then you don't have money. All you have are notes, which is why you need to understand that the power you have is in your ability to get what you want. That what you should be fighting for is the ability to get what you want when you want it. If I'm hungry, what I want is food. I don't want words of naira notes. So I need to ask myself, how do I get the ability to be able to walk into any fine restaurant and get whatever I want? For instance, let me give you how I was listening to a man called Peter Daniels. He said he needed to do a particular transaction, but he didn't have the resources to actually pull it through. Now people had already known that this man is a rich man, and what he did was he called somebody and said, you know what, I want to build this house. How much will it cost for you to build it for me? He said about $5 million. Okay, he went to people who sold building materials. I need to build this house. How much will you give me to supply me these resources? So okay, we'll supply it to you. We'll give you about 30 days to pay. He went to his bank. I have these people who are supplying this thing. I need a 60 days facility. But before then, he had actually gone to people with the plan of the building. I have this building that will be ready in the next 3 months. And for those who pay now, they actually will get it at 80% discount. And people started to pay him. He went to his bank and said, people are already paying for this house. I need this money to actually complete it. And before you knew it, he had mobilized the resources to build the house. Let me give you another example too about how money is created. Robert Kiyosaki also gave an example that he wanted to actually buy a very huge property. He needed about 20 acres. But what he did was he went and got 80 acres. And I told the people, give me 30 days. He now got an architect to do a design of the building that he wants to do there. And he now went to his rich friend, which is why you need to have the right people around you. And he told about 10 of them, I am trying to set up this very private ranch that will take about 20 acres, but I already have 80 acres. Are you interested in getting about 20 acres so we can build our own private exotic ranches? When he saw the pitch that they gave, when they heard the pitch he gave to them, 3 of them contributed and bought off the other 20 acres. With the money they paid, he used their money to pay for the 80 plots and he got his own for free. A lot of you want to buy a property, all you are running around is, where do I get the money to do this? Money are not zeros, money are not notes. Money is your ability to get what you want. So focus more on developing that ability to get what you want. That is money. And not on acquiring zeros and acquiring notes. And finally, I want to talk about your mental capacity. The money that you can create is directly related to your mental capacity, to your financial capacity. What do I mean by this? If you Okay, let me give you a practical example. I was giving a talk to a group of women, and one of them was saying that she has not been able to actually raise more than 200,000 in her business. That for some reason, that when her money gets to 200,000, it just tends to stick there. And I took out time to start to teach them some financial principles. I walked them through certain financial principles, and by the time I was done, I asked her, go and implement this. Now, what was I doing for her? I was changing her mental capacity. I was changing her ability to handle a large volume of money, a higher volume of money. And you know what happened? In less than 3 months, her sales has gone up from about 200 to about 500,000. Because at that point, her capacity to handle money has increased. If you don't work on your mental capacity by attending business seminars, by attending financial seminars, by watching financial news, by reading financial books, by listening to people who have already made so much money and understand how money have made, your capacity will remain where it is. And for you to grow will be almost impossible for you. Now the last point, sorry, this might be my last point. I just saw this now, which I think is the most important point. Your beliefs about money and the words you use about money will determine where you remain financially in life. Which means you see a rich man and say, most likely I've done something bad to make money. It means that you have told yourself, your mental fundamental belief is that for somebody to become very rich, the person needs to do something bad. For that, it means for you, you must do something bad for you to get money. And that is a limiting belief. But when you believe that you can actually become successful without doing something bad, suddenly your mental limiting belief has actually changed and opens up your mind to bigger opportunity to create wealth. In conclusion, wealth creation is not a mystery. Money creation is something that anybody can do. I want you to understand that a lot of the factors, a lot of the things you've been told about money have been told to you by people who are financially poor. A poor man can only teach you how to create poverty. It's only somebody who has learned how to create a massive amount of money that can teach you how money is created. Now you might ask, so why am I qualified to actually teach you about money creation? Well, basically we're doing a project that we've invested close to 100 million naira, about 100 million naira into. And our goal for this year is to actually buy 50 acres of land in Anambra State, where we are planning to set up the project for Chancellor University. So bottom line is, I've actually gotten to an area stage whereby I can talk about a huge amount of money, because in our transaction we've seen massive amount of money and we've handled it and we are deploying it in projects. You too can actually do that for yourself. Start to actually turn your mind around on how money is handled, and I promise you that your life will change. Now in conclusion, I want to invite you, we want to start a series on how wealth are built. We want to start a series on changing the mindset of Nigerians on money and wealth creation. I want you to understand there's no huge mystery around money creation. That a lot of things that you'll be hearing about money, you'll be hearing them from the wrong people. Now when you get the right information from the right people, you can actually start to create the kind of money that you desire. So in conclusion, I want you to reach out. We are inviting you to actually join our next class, because this is an online class, but we also have a class where we hold for business people that will take them through some basic principles about business, building a sustainable and profitable business. And we want to invite you to join our next class. So if you're interested in joining us in our next class, you can actually send us a WhatsApp message on 090-2094-5693. I take it again, a WhatsApp message on 090-2094-5693. Send us a WhatsApp message and we'll give you an update on when the next class is coming up, so that for those of you who are in Lagos, you can join us, and those of you who are outside Lagos, you can actually connect to us on the live program via Instagram, via Facebook Live, and actually ask your questions, and we'll take them, and we can give you the fundamentals, the basics about building your business. Once again, I want to actually ask you to get this book. It's very, very important for you to get this book. This book has turned the life of people around, and it can also turn your life around. Is that because I see a lot of African businessmen and women struggling, and I know that the principle to turning their businesses around are something that we've actually compiled in this book. Get this book because it's what you need to turn your life around, and I believe that this will help you. So I hope you've learned 1 or 2 points from what we've said, and I want you to go out there and start to create your own money, and stop waiting for somebody to give you handouts, because handouts are not one of the principles of wealth creation. Sitting down in your office and expecting people to come will not make you wealthy. Create money by deploying this principle that we'll share with you, and then share your testimony with us. Thank you for listening to us, and we'll see you next time.